nature and regional culture nuance in central Vietnamese Khayao. Folk poetry. Introduction. Introduction. Introductory remark. Nature is a major theme in Khayao. This is closely associated with lyrical inspiration about homeland and country, and it embodies the philosophy and outlook of the folk, while also bearing the mark of local custom, way of life, and cultural characteristics. Studying nature in Khayao provides an opportunity to gain a deeper understanding of the emotion that people convey through image, such as the moon, stars, clouds, wind, rivers, water, plants, flowers, and leaves, as well as their love of nature, as well as their love of nature and their attachment to their native land. At the same time, to natural imagery in Khayao, we can perceive a part of the worldview. We can perceive a part of the worldview of rural laboring people, their attitude toward and relationship with nature, a nature that appears at once intimate and familiar, yet distant and sacred, a nature which humans both coexist and seek to conquer, and which they allow to treat as divine, as a mysterious supernatural force. Research into nature in Callao not only provides an opportunity to explore the spiritual content and emotional life of human beings at a present, but also help us better understand artistic modes of thinking and the poetic of Callao through examining how nature scene and object enter Callao and how nature become a sort of material for the construction of imagery in Callao. Study conducted along the lines, if carried out through rigorously and on a sound scholarly basis, will certainly be beneficial for researchers of folk literature in particular and for folk creative practice in general. Central Vietnam is a religion. Central Vietnam is a region possessing one of the richest repository of cacao in Vietnam. There have been studies devoted to the theme of cacao in northern Callao and southern Callao, but there has not yet been a work focusing on nature in the Callao, Central Vietnam. By presenting nature and regional cultural nuance in Central Vietnamese lyrical Callao as a core focusing of this book, we hope to contribute further to the study of nature in Vietnamese Callao across all three religions, while at the same time helping to clarify more fully the distinctive features of the cultural regions of Central Vietnam, if only from the even if only from the perspective of folk lyrical creation. This is also an issue that attracting growing attention not only from scholars engaged in cultural regionalization, but also from those working in the field of folk culture in Vietnam. Callao About Nature functions as a repository in which human emotion toward nature are preserved and love for nature is nurtured. This plays an important role not only in cultivating people's emotional attachment to nature, but also in awakening environmental awareness. Today, humanity is living in an era marked by climate change, the destruction of nature, and environmental pollution. The, the process of economic development that priority role while bringing material conven, conven, conveniences and higher income. Hello, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 19. Here, two literature review. Nature with regional cultural nuance in the lyrical Callao of central Vietnam is a topic related to a number of issues in cultural studies and folk literature, such as the relationship between human being and nature, geographical natural condition, cultural regions, regional folk literature, and the collection and study of nature in Callao. In order to provide a foundation for the research undertaken in this work, we will review the research situation of the above issue in Chapter 1, entitled Overview. Overview of cultural regions and the study of nature in Vietnamese Callao. In the literature review section here, we introduce only one material and research result. We introduce only those material and research results that are directly related to the topic of this work. That is, study involving the collection and survey of nature in the Callao of Central Vietnam. Up to the present, there have not yet been a substantial work offering a comprehensive and systematic study of nature in the Callao of Central Vietnam. However, the number of articles and essays that directly or indirectly address the nature of Central Vietnam had reached a considerable level. First, it is necessary to mention the introductory essay included in collected and edited volume of Central Vietnam Callao. These include the afterwork by Xuân Diệu, Living with the Callao and Folk Song of the South Central Regions. Print at the end of Folk Songs of the South Central Regions. The article Callao Upper Land, including the book Callao of the South Central Regions. The article, one of the articles of the Vietnamese in the Nghệ regions by Ninh Việt Giàu in the volume he edited, Treasury of Callao from the Nghệ regions, and the article Several Remarks on the Callao of Thừa Thiên Huế by Triều Nguyên, including the book Callao of Thừa Thiên Huế, compiled by the author himself. In addition, there are several other articles. Difference between the Callao of the Vietnamese in the Nghệ regions and the northern regions by Nguyễn Phương Trâm. Scholarly elements in the Callao of the Nghệ regions by Nguyễn Phương Trâm. Some thoughts on Callao and folk song of the central coastal regions. By Nguyễn Quang Hiển and Trịnh Sâm, and an initial comparison of central regional nuance through four folk song areas: Thanh Hóa, Nghệ An, Bình Trị Thiên, and the South Central regions by Lê Văn Hào. The above-mentioned articles do not have as their sole purpose the discussion. The above-mentioned articles do not have as their sole purpose of the discussion of nature in Callao, but scattered throughout them are a number of noteworthy observations and insights. Associate Professor Ninh Giao wrote about the nature of the Nghệ region as follows. Those who have come to Nghệ Tĩnh during the summer days surely understand the heat of the Hoài Land. Again, those who have come to Nghệ Tĩnh during the summer days surely understand the heat of the Hoài Hang land in the midst of drought. As soon as the sun rises, it's already hot. At sunset, it is still hot, especially at noon. Table surface, door panels, wooden platform, all wrap. The blazing summer sun is often accompanied by the southwest monsoon, which local people commonly call the Lao wind. The wind rolls and cracks and scrapes sand and dust right in clouds as if someone were scooping them up and throwing them into the air. Only after passing through the fields of Nghi Lộc, Thạnh Hà, and Nghi Xuân, where in the past the annual rise yield was about 5 tons per central region mẫu, and one photographs the days of sun and Lao wind in the Nghệ regions. Thus the sun and wind persist day after day. People and livestock grow weary, vegetation become withered, and even weeds and reeds dry up. When the rains come, they fall from one day to the next, pouring down in torrent, rotting the soil and the sand. Master Dewey remarked, like national Callao, the Callao of Thừa Thiên Huế make like national Callao, the Callao of Thừa Thiên Huế makes frequent use of image of mountains and rivers of the regions. Some place names have become symbol of the homeland. At times, symbols of the country are the eagle and the phoenix associated with the mountain, and the lower whale associated with the sea. There are mountains, passes, rivers, and lagoons that become symbols of separation. The researchers had found right about nature and the people of the South Central region. The strip of land stretching from the southern side of Hải Vân Pass to the boundary of Bình Thuận Barrier is not an excessively harsh region where the flow turn up only rock and pebble. Yet it is not a place where nature is especially generous to human beings. Nature's disaster and annual storm and floods continue to occur in succession. For people to remain here, they must not only be diligent and hardworking in their labor, they must also constantly use their minds, seek out the news and the meritorious, and handle situations in an active and intelligent manner, free from dogmatism in thought, steadfast and persistent in will, and highly determined in action. These are the prominent characteristics of the people here. They hold that once they have resolved, one must act. They hold that once one have resolved it, one must act. Once one has soldered the rope, one must carry it through. Once one had begun weaving, one must bend and fit the rim until the ground. Precisely the nature, environment, and living conditions here had contributed to forging their character and spirit, and this imprint appears quite clearly in the Callao. Compared with other regions, the Callao here more vigorous and energetic. Its vitality erupted and angular, largely unpolished, yet its emotional quality is rich and abundant like soaring waves, and its meaning is as salty as salt and pungent as ginger. Oh,